All right, I believe we are live. Just gonna wait a little bit for people to start trickling in. I know this is an unusual morning stream for those of you familiar with my channel. I don't usually do these unless it's very early morning, i.e., after midnight, sometime 1 in the morning or 1:30 in the morning. But I usually don't stream while the sun is out. So this is a rare treat for those of you who actually receive notifications for these videos, which I gather based on the comments is a very small number. I, I actually look at the analytics sometimes, usually after I post a video to check out how people discover the video, and most of the time it's non-subscribers. Hi, Christine. Good morning. It's non-subscribers. It's people who find the video from some other source, but a good chunk, I would say 35%, are people that find it from YouTube features or notifications. There are, I think, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but a few people actually do get notified that these videos are um, are live, which is reassuring, I guess. It's funny. I don't think I don't think if I were monetized, and I don't expect to ever be monetized, but if I were, the title of this video would probably would probably result in it being demonetized after publication. So I don't have to worry about that though. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about. Initially, I was going to talk about the debate, the first Trump Biden debate. Hi, Tower Time. But the thing is, I was going to do that a day or two after it happened, and by the time I by the time I gathered the initiative to actually make this live stream, the president had contracted coronavirus along with the first lady and several White House staffers. So the the timeliness had passed, which is always a problem when you're not aggressively post uploading videos and live streaming. You you think of a topic that you want to discuss, and by the time you get around to it, the news cycle has already moved past, has already overshot you, which is a problem for procrastinators like myself. But I actually, Stu, I did want to talk about the debate, and I don't think it is sort of relevant since Chris Wallace remains um, front and center in the news, even after the president's hospitalization and the Fox News coverage, particularly his interview with a spokesperson for the Trump reelection campaign. So it sort of does tie into the debate. And there were two really good analyses of the Trump Biden debate that I think everyone should take a look at. And I'm not sure if it's online, but Rush Limbaugh did a very good breakdown of the problems with that debate, particularly how it was moderated. And there was another analysis of the debate which is online, and you can, I know for certain it's on the YouTube channel called Conversations That Matter. It's a Christian YouTube channel by John Harris. It's his channel, and he just published a book about tackling the idea of social justice and how it's corroded the church. And that's his main focus on that channel. He tackles a lot of these false teachers, the people who've tried to corrupt the church and pervert doctrine in order to basically turn the church into a vehicle for social justice and political correctness and social engineering. So he does a lot of interviews and does a lot of, it's basically a podcast, attacking the woke church and really dissecting how it's undermining public the public face of Christianity, particularly in the United States. It's a great channel, but he and Rush both had really good pinpoint analyses of the Trump Biden debate, and specifically the problems inherent in the way Chris Wallace moderated that debate. I haven't still not woke. I haven't had enough coffee. Yeah, that's true. It's funny. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do have it occasionally. Um, but both John Harrison and Rush Limbaugh, they addressed the failures in this debate, and Rush had a very good perspective, and I think I could add a little bit to this because I've been involved in public debates ever since junior high school when I was part of my school's Lincoln Douglas debate team, and that continued in high school and as an adult. And I've participated in a lot of public debates about various topics. So I think I have a fleshed out perspective on what constitutes an actual debate. And John Harris talks about this a little bit. The idea that what we see in modern presidential debates doesn't really resemble a what you would traditionally think of as a debate. When you think of a debate, you think of something, and it depends because you have policy debate, and I don't know how many of you have watched those, but it's basically where you go up and you have a specified amount of time to rattle off all of your arguments, and you just do it rapid fire in this staccato way. But there's also the traditional Lincoln Douglas debate where you have a resolution and you have two parties that present arguments either in support or opposition to that resolution, to that proposition. And occasionally you will have debates where the validity of the argument is decided based on whether or not the audience is swayed or not to particular point of view. And what we see now, and Harris points this out, it's not real. That's not really what we're seeing when we're seeing a presidential debate. We're basically seeing this heavily moderated distillation of sound bites that can be captured and then used in campaign advertisements. It's also there's not you don't really have any sense of what the actual issues at stake are. These are debates where the field of play is predetermined, and this is a problem. And this is something that Rush emphasized when he was discussing the debate. The, people watch these debates for putting aside the limitations of a modern presidential debate. People watch these debates in order to get an idea of what the candidates believe, or alternatively, they just want to be entertained. But they don't watch the debates in order to see Chris Wallace um, Chris Wallace act as this basically a school mom, chastising the president for not being quote unquote civil. And he also explored the idea that it's already stacked against a certain it's already stacked against one side. It is a very one-sided debate, and whoever the Republican candidate is knows this beforehand, and this is why the media is so incensed at Donald Trump, that he doesn't agree to the rules that were designed to hamper or restrict a specific candidate. He doesn't agree to rules that are subjective. And this is one of the reasons that you're so angry with him. People like Chris Wallace are so incensed, the media, and it's you could see the result. They immediately changed the rules of the debate. They they altered the debate regulations after the first debate. Hi, Alejandro. Hi, Irene. But that's the thing. You excuse me. Like Marco Rubio now. This is what you're getting. You're getting instead of actually seeing the candidates speak. And this was a point that Rush made. Even if you agree that this was unpleasant to watch as a member of the press corps, it's not your job to dictate the emotional reaction of viewers to the debate. And very few people actually watched the debate compared to previous election cycles. But again, that's not your job. You're not. The point of a debate is not to present this ritualistic this ritualistic exercise where the Republican candidate is is chastised, and you get to spit out Democratic talking points, and everyone obeys by the completely arbitrary, subjective rules that a coalition of liberal elites have designed beforehand. That's not the point of a debate. Whatever the point of a debate is, whether it's to elucidate the beliefs of these candidates, or it's just to be entertained, that is not the point. The objective that they have set forth. And this was something that this was a point that Rush made. Chris Wallace was intervening in a way, in other words, to make him the focal point of the debate, which is not what a moderator should do. Now, I've done a lot of debates. I've only been a moderator of one debate between two friends of mine, Keith Darrow, who's a campus evangelist. He has a podcast called Campus Preacher Podcast, which you can find if you search for it. on YouTube. He also has a channel, which you can watch his videos. But he's a campus preacher, and someone else I know, Todd Seavey, who's a writer and an atheist. They had a debate over the uh, the deity of Christ, and I was the moderator. And even though this was the first time, I was able to oversee and moderate this debate without any real any real glitches. There weren't. It wasn't. It was a very cordial, for the most part, interaction and um, and clash between two separate competing worldviews, two philosophies, and there was no problem. And if you're a moderator who of a debate and you've spoken to the two participants and you've briefed them as to how it's going to be conducted and what the format is, there should and the two people who are debating are rational, normal people who don't who agree to these rules. There's no problem with the debate if you, as a moderator, simply moderate and step back and don't allow yourself to be the center of attention. It's not that difficult. Again, if you have normal debaters now, if you're debating Islamic apologists, that's going to be a different situation because they don't necessarily agree. Uh, they don't necessarily subscribe to the same idea as you, i.e., a debate should be civil, a form of civil discourse where people engage a point rationally. They see debate as a simply an extension of warfare and deception. So they'll lie to you if you, and this is what happened during the David Wood Muhammad Hijab debate. They'll lie to you and say, okay, we'll agree to these stipulations. And then once the debate begins, they'll completely ignore them and proceed to, you know, proceed to just make a mockery of the entire format. So, yeah, if you're debating a Muslim apologist, you won't have a good debate. Just like if you're debating someone who's a sociopath, and I actually did this once, but I didn't realize it until after the debate. But if you're debating someone who's a sociopath and believes in, or anyone who just believes in lying constantly, um, then of course you can't have a normal debate. Just like if you have a moderator who doesn't understand the role of being a moderator, and this was something that Rush harped on. If you have someone who doesn't understand that they're not on a certain team, that they're not there to boost one of the participants and to advance their worldview, then of course the debate is going to be a disaster. Yeah, it is frustrating. So, I mean, if you have those circumstances, then yes, the debate will go completely awry. But when you have a debate between two people who understand the format and are not who's who are not intent on deceiving people, and and um, and you have a moderator who understands his role, which is to oversee an exchange of ideas and to keep keep the debate on track, to not let it go awry. And that doesn't mean interrupting one of the debaters repeatedly and chastising them like Chris Wallace did. Hi, First Corinthians. It means simply keeping track of time and understanding the um, understanding the format of the debate and how it should progress. And again, it's a very simple task if you do any preparation whatsoever and understand what you're doing. And again, this is something that people like Chris Wallace or Candy Crowley, the CNN moderator during the Obama Romney debate, this is something that fundamentally they fail to grasp. And it's why you get things like the Trump Biden debate, why you have them unfold in the way that they do, because you have people who don't understand what a debate is, and don't understand what a moderator's job is, and these are the people in charge of overseeing the debate. So of course it's going to be a disaster. I mean, I can sympathize with the president to a certain extent because I do not do much debate prep and like to speak extemporaneously for the most part. So, but when you look at the real problems here, it's the fact that you have people who are advocates trying to moderate a debate, and it's something that just does not work. Yeah, they really shouldn't have a moderator from the press corps, honestly. Um, I don't know. I'm interested in whether or not they still hold the Pence Harris debate or whether they do one of these weird remote Zoom if they do, because we all know what a smashing success the DNC was. So replicating that will no doubt be. I'm not going to get into that, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about that debate. Again, I know it's not that timely considering all the things that have happened in the interim, but again, the 2020, there are so many events. It's hard to create timely content, but I thought this was just an interesting. I just thought I'd give you an analysis from my perspective as someone who actually does or did debate, who has been in a lot of debates, to just give you an idea of what went wrong in the first debate. Yeah, I didn't really watch. I watched a lot of the analysis, which was some of it was good. Like I said, if you want to see a really good analysis of this, check out Conversations That Matter. It's a great YouTube channel. It's with John Harris, and I don't know if there's a transcript of Rush's analysis of the debate, but that's also worth reading just because he gives you a good idea of what a debate moderator should be. And even though Rush Limbaugh doesn't really debate much, I think he has a background. I think he debated in high school. I could be mistaken about this, but I believe he did. He used to be a television personality, but has sort of retired from that role. Yeah, Conversations That Matter. It's a great channel, and he gives a good overview of what happened in the first Trump Biden debate. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. GW, Irene, Christine, First Corinthians, Alejandro, of course, all of the mods and non mods. And I will see you later.